What a day this has been. It's been a crazy one here. I will explain more about that a little bit later on. We are back together. Are you feeling good today? It is bright and sunny here. It really does feel nice, even though overnight we had lots and lots of rain. Hi everybody, this is English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be, I'm sure you know where it is by now. It is England. Let's go. We are back together again. It's ever so nice to see you. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling good today. Don't forget to give me a lovely like at the start of the live stream, just in case you don't like what it is I'm doing. So I will have your lovely thumbs showing that you like what I do straight away, please, just in case it all turns out to be terrible. If something turns out, it means eventually that is what it becomes. It turns out. So one thing appears to be something, but it turns out to be something else, something quite different, maybe better, maybe worse. So please give me a lovely like to show you care, and we will all together find out how this will turn out. My name is Duncan. I love English. I like English very much. You might say that I am an English addict. I am one of those, and I have a feeling maybe, perhaps, you are one of those as well. I'm often asked where I am. I'm in England. It is a country you may have heard of, mostly on the news, and quite often for bad reasons. If you do know England, well, this is where I am. I'm in a small place, a very small town called Much Wenlock. It is in the countryside. I'm surrounded by fields, farmers, sheep, cows, all sorts of crazy looking animals. And I know they are there because I often see their little messages that they leave behind for me. And quite often I will put my foot into one of their little messages. It does happen from time to time. Hello to the live chat. Of course, it would not be English Addict without you out there in YouTube land. Hello everyone. Nice to see you here. Vitas, once again. What can I say? I can't say anything else really, except for congratulations, Vitas. You are first on today's live chat again. My system has been overloaded because of Vitas being first once again on the live chat. Thank you very much for joining me today. It is always lovely to spend time with you on Sunday and of course on Wednesday as well. I am normally here with you. So if you want to catch me on Wednesday, you can. Wednesday, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm with you. Hello also, Baham. Hello to you. Hi there. Beatrice is here. Also we have, yes, he is here again. Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Also we have Palmyra, Valentin. We also have Patrick. Hello, Patrick. How are things in France? How are they going? In the place you live, a place called Oos. Did I pronounce it correctly? I hope so. Francesca is here. Where are you, Francesca? What part of the world are you in at the moment? Are you travelling? I wonder. I have noticed many of my viewers like to travel around. We have Francesca, who sometimes goes travelling. Christina also likes to go travelling as well. Rosa is here. Hello, Rosa. Nice to see you back as well. It is always nice to see familiar names, but also if it is your first time. So today might be the first time you've ever seen this strange man staring at you from your computer device. What does it all mean? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, you will find out if you stick around, if you stay with me. Don't go away. Now, can I just tell you something? And I know you will not be very happy about this. I know a lot of people will be really annoyed, including right-wing historian Dr. David Starkey. I don't think he's going to be very happy. Are you happy, David? No, he's not happy at all about that. Mr. Steve is not here. I'm ever so sorry. What's that? You've changed your mind. You're happy now. Oh, I see. Oh, he's actually happy because Mr. Steve isn't here. I will send my messages to him for all those who are happy that Mr. Steve will not be joining us. Steve, by the way, is busy today. He is doing a rehearsal for his show that is coming up next week. They are having a little get-together with all of his musical company. They are putting on a performance of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Gondoliers. There are many famous pieces of music that come from the Gondoliers. Take a pair of sparkling eyes and show me your lovely smile as I go along the canal. The Gondoliers. So that's what Mr. Steve will be in next week. I am going along to see him next Friday in the show. So once again, just to tell you again, there is no Mr. Steve today, unfortunately. I'm ever so sorry about that. Please don't shout at me. Who else is here? Olga. Hello, Olga. By the way, if it is your first time, as I was saying a few moments ago, if it's your first time, maybe you are feeling shy. But please, don't be shy. Give it a try, or else you'll make Mr. Duncan cry. And we can't have that. Too many tears. Inarki. Hello, Inarki. Quitaiba is here again. Hello, Quitaiba. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Seo Yon Kim. Hello to you. It is my first time greeting on the chat box. So can I say a big special hello to Seo Yon Kim. Thank you very much for joining me today here on the live chat. Wasn't it easy? It's not difficult. We are all so friendly, ever so friendly here at English Addict. We really are ever so friendly. Nguyen Min Hugh is here as well. Who else is here? We also have Seventh Channel. Hello, Seventh Channel. I'm wondering why you have 7 channels. Maybe you do lots of different things. Oh, by the way, something I want to mention. Now, this is not happening at the moment, but it will be happening in the near future. There will be a new YouTube channel with me. That's all I'm saying. The rest of it is top secret at the moment. I can't say anything else, unfortunately. That is a lovely song, Mr. Duncan. Yes, I did get some of the words wrong, unfortunately. But yes, it is a nice song taken from the show called The Gondoliers, set in Venice, where they do have quite a lot of water, so they have to go around in their very long boats. And the people who steer the boats are called gondoliers. Very nice. Because the boat is called a gondola, and they are gondoliers. Hello, I'm a gondolier. Where do you want to go? I have my big extra long paddle, and I can take you anywhere you want in Venice. Hello also Sanjay. Hello Sanjay. Sanjay Kumar. Hello to you. I'm sending you a nice wave. Unfortunately, I can't wave very hard. I don't have much energy today because I had a very late night. Can I tell you about last night? It all started out so well, so pleasant, so positive. We went out last night, Mr. Steve and myself, and also two of our lovely friends who came to stay with us. We went into Much Wenlock, but we didn't want to walk and we didn't want to take the car, so instead we arranged a taxi to take us into Much Wenlock, even though it's not very far away. But of course, it was Saturday night. So we had a lovely meal at the local curry house in Much Wenlock, very nice. But when we tried to get a taxi back home, unfortunately we couldn't get one because it was so busy. Saturday night is always a busy time because everyone is out enjoying themselves and most people want to travel around by taxi. So we found ourselves stuck in Much Wenlock. It was pouring with rain. We couldn't walk back home because the route to my house is very dark, so we couldn't even do that. So we were stuck in Much Wenlock. And it did get a little chaotic at one point because we realised that we might not be going back home for quite a long time. Fortunately, I did manage to arrange a taxi to come and pick us up eventually. So I did save the day after all the other things that were going wrong. I was the hero of the night. Now, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. Oh, isn't that a good expression? That's a very good expression. By the way, today we are talking all about idioms. If you blow your own trumpet, now I know what you're going to say, Mr. Duncan, that was not a trumpet. That was a trombone, you silly sausage. To blow your own trumpet is to show off. If you show off, if you boast about things that you have done, we can say that you are blowing your own trumpet. So we did have a very chaotic night last night. Mr. Steve enjoyed himself. Of course, it was his birthday on Friday. We had a lovely day on Friday. We didn't do any recording. We didn't do any lessons. We didn't record anything. We did nothing live. We just had a lovely day together. It was absolutely lovely and relaxing. We had a lovely walk. We had a lovely day. Everything was super duper on Mr. Steve's birthday, even though last night it was chaotic. We did have a few problems getting back home because we didn't drive. We took a taxi. And you know what it's like. If you try to book a taxi on a Saturday night at around about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, you have no chance. There will be no taxis. No taxis will be available to take you where you want to go because they will all be busy. And that's what happened last night. It was a little worrying, but as I said a few moments ago, I was there. I was the hero. I was the one who was able to arrange a taxi. They came, even though we had to wait for around about 1 hour in this strange pub. There is a strange pub in Much Wenlock, and we've never been into that pub. Even though we've lived here for 11 years, we've never been to that particular pub. So after leaving the restaurant, we realised that we were stuck. So we went to a pub. But the people inside were giving us some very strange looks because they knew that we'd never been in before, because everyone in the pub were regulars. So when we say that someone is a regular, it means they often go there. Their face is often seen in that particular bar or pub. And they realised straight away that we were not regulars. You may have noticed that I am very irregular. But that, as they say, is another story. We are looking at idioms. Now, when we talk about idioms, we are talking about different types of use of words to mean something else. So they are a form of expression, a type of expression that is used in English. You change the meaning, but you are using it. I suppose the best way of describing an idiom is a sentence or a phrase that is used figuratively, not literally. So a few moments ago I gave you a very good example of blow your own trumpet. So I'm not actually blowing my trumpet. I am actually showing off. So that is why we call it an idiom. It is a phrase, it is a metaphor for something else, and that's why we use them quite often. Marcia is here today. Hello to Marcia. In fact, I want to give you, can I give you a special echo? Because I don't give them very often. Hello, Marcia. Marcia. It's so good to see you today. Who else is here today? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, we have Irene Apraxine. Hello, Irene. Nice to see you here as well on the live chat. It is English Addict, Sunday afternoon from 2 p.m. UK time. And a few moments ago, I was telling you all about the chaotic night last night. We went out, everything was perfect, but then things started to go wrong. We realised that maybe it was a mistake to try and get a taxi on a Saturday night because everyone was using them. However, we did have a nice night. Oh, by the way, if you are wondering what I had curry, because we went to an Indian restaurant and I had curry, butter chicken. So it's basically a type of curry made with chicken and a very thick buttery sauce, creamy. And I have to say, it was delicious. It was really, really nice. It's been a long time since I've been for a curry, and I did enjoy it quite a lot. Hello! Oh, Vitas makes a very good point about idioms. When a language is not used, it is forgotten. Yes, well, it's like anything really. Do you ever see those big muscle men on the internet? There's lots of them nowadays, and they go to the gym and they work on those machines in the gym, building up their big muscles. But of course, once you start doing that, you have to keep doing it, because when you stop doing it, all of those muscles will start to shrink. They will shrivel, they will become less and less and less, and then you will end up looking like me, like this. This is what you will look like eventually. If you stop bodybuilding, you will look exactly like this. Not a pretty sight, to be honest. What was peculiar in that pub yesterday evening? Asks Francesca. Can I just say, it is a local pub in a small area. So many of the people who go in there are always in there every night. But of course, we never go there. So when we walked in, everyone was looking. They were watching us very closely because they knew that we were strangers, despite the fact that myself and Mr. Steve live here in the village. We have never been into that particular pub. And it is strange. Sometimes when you live somewhere, you might live in a certain place, but you never go there. There might be lots of things around you, wonderful places to visit, but you never actually go there. I suppose a good example would be if you lived in Paris. So imagine for a moment you are living in Paris, but you never go to the Eiffel Tower. You never go near to the Eiffel Tower, and you certainly never go up the Eiffel Tower. So even though you live there, you never visit that particular place. So I suppose it's a bit like the place we were at last night. Can I mention the name of the place? Will I get into trouble? Because you have to be so careful nowadays on the internet. You have no idea. Sometimes I am putting my life in my hands, or putting my life in your hands by doing this. Because you have to be so careful these days what you say. If you say the wrong thing, you will get into all sorts of trouble. And then I will have to do what Tucker Carlson did and go all the way to Russia. That's it, you see, that's the next step. If I get into trouble on here, the only place I have to go to is Russia. And I don't think they will like me there, to be honest. I don't think they will. I don't think it will go down very well. The Talbot Inn, for those wondering. So that's the place we went to last night, the pub. We were sitting in there. We were really standing out like sore thumbs. That is another idiom. So if you stand out like a sore thumb, it means you are very conspicuous. You are very obvious. You can be seen clearly. You stand out like a sore thumb. You stand out in the crowd. You stand out like a sore thumb. So we were last night in the Talbot Inn with all of the local people looking at us, wondering why we were there. Why? They had no idea. Who are those strangers? Hello to... Inaki is here today. Hello, croissants. Croissants. Did someone mention croissants? Because this morning I was eating croissants with my lovely guests who were staying here. They've gone now, by the way. They've gone. So for those wondering where they are, they have left. They have left the building. They are not here anymore. By the way, hello Sonia. Hello Brent. It was lovely to have you here last night. We had a good time. Even though we did get stuck in the pub, we couldn't escape because we could not get a taxi, unfortunately. Please, Mr. Duncan, don't get into trouble. We need you. You stand out. That is true. Sometimes it is a good thing to stand out from the crowd. So there is another idiom. If you stand out from the crowd, it means you are maybe unique. You have some sort of characteristic that is different from everyone else. So we can say that you stand out from the crowd. But sometimes it is a good thing, and other times it is not so good. Especially when you are sitting in a pub with lots of people watching you closely, wondering why you are there. Hello, Karim. Karim, hola. I am watching you after a long time with my kids. Hello to you. And also Amna, Wissal, Anna, Awais. Best wishes to you, and hello to your children as well. Karim, hola. Thank you very much for joining me today. We always like to have a good time. Sometimes we talk about funny things. Sometimes we talk about serious things as well. I will try not to get into trouble. I promise I will not get into trouble. I will try to keep my nose clean. You see, there is another idiom. There are so many idioms in the English language. If you keep your nose clean, it means you don't get into trouble. You stay out of trouble. You keep your nose clean. It means you don't get in trouble. Maybe with the police, or maybe with the authorities. Maybe a person who has some sort of authority. You might do something against them, and then they want to punish you for doing that thing. So I will always try to keep my nose clean. Palmyra? Oh yes, of course. I suppose I should mention this year is a big year for France because, of course, they are hosting the Olympic Games this year. I'm not sure how successful it's going to be because they were having difficulty finishing off some of the projects. There is one thing that France is very well known for, maybe not outside France, but in France. They are well known for taking a long time to do things. So if they are constructing something or putting something together, maybe they are designing a new road or a new transport system, quite often they will take a very long time to do it. And as I understand it, I think it has something to do with the union rules, because with the unions in France, I think they are very strict. So each person must do one particular job or one particular part of the project. And I think that's one of the reasons why things often take so long to be built in France, because of all of the unions. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, I'm sure you will tell me. But that is what I heard last year when I was in Paris. A lot of people were telling me that, because they do have a lot of building projects taking place at the moment in France and in Paris. Lots of things happening. Francesco, English is incredible. Every single experience can be turned into an idiom. You are right. And that is one of the reasons why I'm talking about idioms today, because I think idioms are pretty cool. They are cool. They are wicked. That's what we used to say in the 1990s. So way back in the 1990s, possibly before you were born, if something was good, we would say it was wicked. That's wicked. That's a wicked shirt. That's a wicked song. Something wicked. In the 1960s, they said cool, or something was far out, or maybe something was heavy. It was amazing, impressive, cool, wicked. That's what we used to say in the 1990s. What do we say now, by the way? If something is really good now, what do we say? Now, I know a few years ago, people used to say sick. If something was really good, they would say it was sick. That is a sick T-shirt, Mr. Duncan. That song is sick. But I don't think they say that anymore, do they? I think there is a new expression now that means good or great. Yeah. Lorato or Lutaro. Sorry, Lutaro is watching in Argentina. We have a lot of people watching in South America. Many people watching in Brazil, other parts of South America, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay. That's it really for now. So today we are looking at idioms. I like idioms very much. I think idioms are so amazing. And you can use them all the time in so many daily situations. And guess what? That is what we are talking about today.
I'm a big boy now.
Can I send a big special get well soon to Lewis? Apparently Lewis is not feeling very well today. Get well soon, Lewis, please. I will send you another special Lewis Mendez. Get well soon, please. It would be very, very good news. So once you feel better, Lewis, please tell us, please let us know, and take care of yourself. You are comfortable at the moment, lying in bed. Now, to be honest with you, I have had a fantasy. Do you want to know what my fantasy is? Are you sure you want to know what my fantasy is? I will tell you anyway. My fantasy is to do my live stream from in bed. Not pretending to be in bed, but actually in bed. Lying down with the pillow behind me, my lovely duvet pulled up just beneath my chin, and I'm all lovely and cosy in my lovely warm comfortable bed, because I don't know about you, I think bed is the best place in the world. It really is. Maybe it's my age, I'm not sure, but I always look forward to going to bed. I always look forward to having my little nap in the afternoon. I will normally go upstairs and have a little nap on the bed for a while, and I have to say I do enjoy it ever such a lot. Bed is an amazing place, and I really do hope one day I can do my live stream from in bed. I think it's a great idea, to be honest. Lovely messages coming through for Lewis. Yes, of course, get well soon. Please, Lewis, get well soon. We are all thinking of you. So please get yourself better very, very soon. For those who are wondering, no Mr. Steve today. Unfortunately, he is busy with a rehearsal. He is appearing next week in The Gondoliers. Beatrice, oh, I see. I think I may have started something here because a lot of people apparently watch me in bed. I can't believe that. Beatrice, many times I follow the live stream from my bed, especially in winter, whilst I'm having breakfast. It is lovely. I know. I think so. I would love to do that one day. I would love to be in bed, all warm and snuggly and cosy and comfortable, and I would love to do my live stream whilst in bed. I don't know if people will complain. Maybe some people won't like it. Maybe they will think it's inappropriate. Something that is inappropriate is something maybe you should not do. So maybe seeing your English teacher in bed teaching you might be seen as inappropriate. And guess what? You might be right. Yes. Palmyra, Mr. Duncan, during the COVID times, I remember those very well. Remember the COVID times. 2020, 2021, and for many, 2022 as well, were the COVID years. I remember them all too well. I used to have classes online, and I was getting mad when I saw my students were lying in bed. So you were teaching your students remotely, and your students were all in bed. So they were learning, they were sitting in class on the internet, but they were actually in bed. Who knows? Who knows? Regina, hello Regina, also says, I will go to bed if it is cold. Winter is the best time of year to spend all the time in bed. I think so. There is nothing better than getting in bed, especially at the moment because we have an electric blanket. Can I just say, if you haven't got an electric blanket at the moment, please buy one. Get one. Get an electric blanket and put it on before you go to bed, and your bed will be lovely and warm. And I have to say, I have become addicted, completely addicted to lying in bed with the electric blanket turned on very low. So you can actually sleep with the electric blanket still working, and it will stay not hot, but it will stay warm overnight. So when you're lying in bed, you will stay cozy for the whole night. I love it very much. So if you haven't tried it, give it a try. Maybe if it's your birthday soon, maybe your birthday is coming up, maybe you can ask someone to buy you an electric blanket. Beatrice loves her electric blanket, and so do I. Absolutely incredible invention. In the olden days, going back many, many years ago, there were many other ways that we would try to keep our beds warm. Many ways. Some people would put coal, hot coal, in their bed to keep their bed nice and warm. And of course, some people will have a water bottle. I don't know if you've ever used one. Maybe you've used one in the past. A water bottle is a type of bottle that you fill with water. It stays hot. You put it into the bed, and then it heats a small part of your bed up. But unfortunately, it is not as good as an electric blanket, because the electric blanket will heat all of the bed. It will all be lovely and cosy and snuggly and warm and I can't tell you how much I want to do my live stream from in bed. I think so. Can you please share it with us, Mr. Duncan? Mr. Steve's performance. Please tell him he is missed very much. Thank you, Christina. And also, can I say happy birthday to him for last Friday? Yes, we had a lovely, lovely birthday with Mr. Steve. I'm not sure if he's happy because now he is another year older. He is getting further and further ahead. Yes, there is an age difference, by the way. Between me and Mr. Steve, there is an age difference. It's true. Yes, there is an age difference. There it is. Are you surprised? No, Mr. Steve is the older one, not me. How dare you? How very dare you, indeed. Thank you very much for joining me. We are talking all about idioms for those waiting patiently, and I know there are a lot of people wishing that I would carry on and start talking about today's subject. Well, today we are looking at certain types of idiom. Here is one. This is a very good example of an idiom in English. The idiom is needle in a haystack. So this is not literal. This is what we call figuratively said or figuratively expressed. So if something is said figuratively, it means that it's not actually happening. You are using the idiom to convey the feeling or the meaning. So, needle in a haystack. It was also a very good song as well, from the 1960s. What does it mean, though? Needle in a haystack. Mr. Duncan, please tell us, what does it mean? Needle in a haystack, to try and search for something that is impossible to find, or something that is very hard to find. So when we describe something as trying to find something, such as a needle in a haystack, we are saying that you're trying to search for something that is impossible or very hard to find. Maybe you are trying to find a partner who will be true and honest forever and ever. You might say it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's like trying to look for something that you can't find. Maybe you will never find it. You are trying to find something that is very small. You are looking for a needle in a haystack. Here is another one, another lovely English idiom. Oh, isn't that nice? Thank you, artificial intelligence, for this lovely little photograph. Here, there it is. Can you see it on the screen? That big thing in the corner. A bee in your bonnet. When you get a bee in your bonnet, it is a great expression. It is one of many English idioms. To become annoyed or flustered. If you become flustered, it means you become quite anxious or annoyed, or maybe both of those things at the same time. To become annoyed or flustered over one particular thing. He has a bee in his bonnet over the poor sales figures. So maybe one particular thing that you are becoming really obsessed with, or something you are becoming very annoyed about. So you might say that it is a type of obsession that actually annoys you. You can't stop thinking about it. It is making you angry all the time. Something you can't stop talking about or worrying about. You have a bee in your bonnet. It's a great expression. So imagine a little bee buzzing around inside your bonnet. It is not something I recommend. Excuse me. I have been doing so much talking last night. We had such a good time last night. I think I may have done too much. So, a bee in your bonnet is to become flustered or annoyed by one particular thing. Spend a penny. Now this is a great one. We often use this particular idiom in English mainly British English. So quite often in British English we will say that we are going to spend a penny. If you spend a penny, I wonder if anyone knows what it means. Do you know what it means to spend a penny? If you have to spend a penny, this particular idiom means to go to the toilet for a wee-wee. Or as we like to say, a number one. So number one is wee-wee. You know, beep, 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 beep. Wee-wee. You urinate. To urinate is to spend a penny. You have to go to the toilet. So you might say, maybe if you are with your friends, you might say, excuse me, I just need to go and spend a penny. It means I have to go to the toilet, normally to take a wee-wee. So I need to spend a penny. And the reason why we say this is because many years ago, public toilets would all charge. So you would have to pay some money to go into the toilet. Quite often it would be just a very small amount, maybe a penny. So you spend a penny by going to the toilet because you have to pay a small charge when you go in. I don't think you do any more. I mean, there are lots of toilets nowadays that are wonderful, automatic. They're like big giant robot toilets. And you go inside and a big door will close behind you. And then everything in front of you is automatic. In fact, you don't have to do anything. These big robot arms will come out and they will do everything for you. I can't stop going there, to be honest. It's amazing. So to spend a penny is to go to the toilet. You are spending a penny. Here's another one. To get caught up in red tape. It's a great expression that we use in English. If we use... I can't believe I just said that, by the way. I did warn you. I did say, if you are going to watch my live stream, I might say things sometimes and then realise that I should not have said them. And that was one of those things. To get caught up in red tape. So imagine being trapped by red tape. But what does it mean? Well, in English, this particular idiom means to become stuck and held up by rules and regulations. So maybe you are trying to do something, but there are many rules and regulations that you have to follow. And all of those things will slow down the process. They will make everything so difficult. So we call this red tape. Red tape is anything that stops you from doing something quickly because there are many rules that you have to follow. We often talk about red tape when we are talking about the local council or the local authority, something you want to do. Maybe you want to make some changes to the appearance of your house. There are lots of rules that you have to follow. There is lots of red tape. All this red tape is slowing down the sale of my house. There are many rules and regulations that you have to follow. And eventually you will become trapped by all of the red tape. You get caught up in red tape. So there is another great English idiom. Here's another one. To be honest, we've all done this. When you think about it, we've all done this in our lives. So never be afraid to say that you have done something. And this idiom is a very good way of expressing something you tried to do to other people, but you ended up doing it to yourself instead. Something you were trying to do to harm another person or to do something maybe against another person, maybe a plan that you had, but instead of harming them, you harm yourself. You shoot yourself in the foot. So this particular expression, to do something that causes harm to yourself without intending to do so. Something you do that you don't want to harm yourself with, but unfortunately you do. You might say that your plan backfires, so your aim returns back to you. You shoot yourself in the foot. You do something to harm another person, but in fact you end up harming yourself. I really shot myself in the foot with my attempt to fool her. So maybe your plan did not go well. Instead of harming the other person or making the other person look foolish, maybe the actual result was you making yourself look foolish. We can say that you shot yourself in the foot. I don't know why. I love that picture. It always makes me laugh every time I see it. I don't know why it makes me laugh, but it does, because it looks so funny. Because that is something you never do, rarely, is it? You never do that in real life. So that's why that particular thing is an idiom. It is not real life. It is figurative. Here's another one. We are looking at lovely, lovely, lovely English idioms today. Very interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you for your lovely messages today concerning my live stream. Francesco, thank you very much for your very descriptive use of those words there. Very good. The next one, by the way, is laughing stock. To be a laughing stock. And this is an idiom, a very good idiom, which describes maybe a person who has done something foolish. They've done something stupid. They've done something that's made them look like a fool. And because of that, they have become a laughing stock. To get laughed at or to be seen as a fool by others. This pink car will make me the laughing stock of the local area. There is a reason why you don't see many pink cars. Because if you drove one around, especially if you are a man like me, you might get laughed at. You might be seen as a laughing stock by other people because you are doing something very foolish. So when we say laughing stock, we are describing the situation where you are laughed at or seen as a fool by others because you are doing something very silly indeed. Another one. Now this is a good one. I like this one. This is very British. So you might only hear this particular expression used in British English. We often describe something as a gravy train. The gravy train. It is often used by people who are critical, maybe of politicians or people who have influential jobs where they are very well paid. So maybe they have a very high salary and they have a very comfortable position. Maybe they are enjoying all of the benefits of that particular place, the place where they work. So my example, I'm not being controversial here, by the way, to have the benefit of a source of money from a particular job or company. So if you have the benefit of something, maybe your job, your position, maybe the salary, or maybe the extra things that you can earn. We often talk about politicians being on the gravy train. It's a great expression. It means you are enjoying the benefits, quite often money. The BBC is just a giant gravy train for those working for it. Oh well, there goes my chance of ever working for the BBC. That's it. It's over. They will never take me. They will never have me. I could have been a great replacement on the radio. This wonderful voice, this personality coming out of your speakers every day. I would be great on the radio. Some people say I have a very good face for radio. I don't know what they mean by that, but I don't think it's a compliment, to be honest with you. So when we talk about the gravy train, we are talking about being in a position where you can get lots of benefit, lots of things will come your way, quite often requiring very little effort. So maybe an easy job that is well paid, or maybe a large organisation, or maybe a political position that you have, and you get lots of benefits. We can say that that person is on the gravy train to have the benefit of a source of money from a particular place, organisation, or a company. Here's another one just for you. Ah, isn't that lovely? Lots of little bees. The bees are moving in a line. We call this a beeline. It is a very popular expression when we are talking about going in a certain direction towards something. Maybe you are in a hurry to do something. Maybe there is something that is very interesting that you really want to go to. You want to go there very quickly. You make a beeline. So this particular expression means to go to a certain place. Excuse me. That's better. I had something in my throat. I think it might be a gold watch. To go to a certain place without hesitation or a break. They made a beeline for the local department store that was holding a sale. It could be women, it could be men, because men also like going to the supermarket or the superstore or the department store to find something nice to buy in the sales. So it could be anyone really. So to go to a certain place without hesitation or a break, you go straight there. You make a beeline for that place. They made a beeline for the local department store that was holding a sale. Everything was discounted. And that's what we call a beeline. We are looking at idioms today. Palmyra says, the gravy train goes to Brussels. You are right. Yes. A lot of people say that. I'm not sure if I agree with that particular idea, but any position of government, any position that you have in government, quite often you will receive lots of benefits, and that is often seen as a type of gravy train. But what about the next one? There is another one coming now, another idiom. Oh, have you ever had or seen or experienced a storm in a teacup? When we talk about storm in a teacup, we are often talking about a situation where people are fighting or arguing, or maybe there is some sort of disagreement taking place, but maybe the disagreement is just a small thing, maybe something tiny, or maybe something unimportant. We might describe that thing as a storm in a teacup. A large argument or fight over something trivial. Something trivial is small, unimportant, a tiny thing. A big argument over something small can be described as a storm in a teacup. This whole problem is an overreaction. It is just a storm in a teacup. It is something that many people are getting angry about, but really the problem is only small. It is not even worth worrying about, to be honest. It is just a storm in a teacup. Here's another one. We have a few more to do and then I will be going. Where are you going, Mr. Duncan? What are your plans? That is my business. Don't be so nosy. Here's another one. English idioms. Here's a good one. To cut your ties. I like that, you see. Now this is a very interesting way of showing something, but this doesn't necessarily refer to the actual idiom, but it is a very good way of showing how you express that particular thing. To cut your ties. Quite often in life we say hello to people, we meet new friends, we find people we've never met before, and we get to know them, we have lovely relationships, but then maybe one day you decide that you don't want to know that person anymore, so you decide to cut your ties with that person. You decide to go your separate ways. You cut your ties. To end contact with someone, to purposely sever. Sever. If you sever something, it means you cut something. To purposely sever a connection with something is to cut ties. You are no longer connected to that person. You have cut ties with that person. We have decided to cut our ties with that political group. So maybe you don't want to be involved with that particular group anymore, so you cut your ties. You decide that you don't want to be involved with that person anymore. So it can be a person, it can be an organisation. In fact, it can be anything at all. Here's another one. Don't laugh when you see this. Now, can I just say that this is not me in this photograph. So when you see this photograph, please don't say that it's Mr. Duncan, because it is not me. Here it is. No, it's not me. Trust me, that is not me. Definitely. Here is a good English idiom. When a person is worrying about things or trying to worry too much about the small things, or maybe the small details, or things we don't have to worry about, we might say that that person is being too fussy, or maybe they are being too precise. They are splitting hairs. To split hairs is a great expression. And in English, it means to go into too much detail when making an argument, to go into small details. We don't have time to split hairs over this deal. So maybe you are being too precise or too fussy or too accurate. You are splitting hairs. It is a great expression we use in English when a person is going into too much detail. Maybe they want to talk about all of the things connected, or maybe you are making an argument about something very trivial or insignificant. You are splitting hairs. It is a good one. I like that one. Hello to the live chat. Oh, we have Claudia. Hello, Claudia. Nice to see you here. I did not see you arrive. Thank you very much for joining me today, Claudia. It's nice to see you here. And I hope your father is keeping well. Here's another one. We are looking at idioms. Oh, I like this one. This is one we use quite often when we are talking about something that is being done, or maybe it is being presented as something new or special. But unfortunately, that particular thing has been done many times before. We describe it as money for old rope. You are putting something forward as being new, special, or exciting. But unfortunately, that particular thing has been done many times before. We describe it as money for old rope. Something introduced as being new that has been done many times before is money for old rope. These superhero movies are just money for old rope. None of these things are new. They are not new. They are not revolutionary. They have been done many times before. We have seen them many times before. Something introduced as being new, but unfortunately it has been done many, many times in the past. Rather like superhero movies. Too many. It is rather like money for old rope. So I think that's a good expression, that. I like that expression very much. By the way, if you want to catch all of this again, you can watch this live stream again, and later on there will be lovely captions as well. So later on you can watch this as many times as you want. And this live stream is definitely not money for old rope. I can tell you right now. Here we go. Another one. Another English idiom. Sign of the times. We might use this particular idiom when we are talking about something that is happening now. Quite often something that is negative. So maybe a negative thing that is happening, and we say that that particular thing is a sign of the times. Quite often we use it in a negative way. For example, an example of how bad things have become. So things around us in the world, you always hear this on the news. The news is always telling us how bad things are, how bad everything is. All this violence on the streets is a sign of the times we are living in. So when we talk about the sign of the times, or in this particular sentence, a sign of the times, we are saying that that is an indication of how bad things are. Maybe people are now finding themselves in a situation where they can't afford to buy food, so they have to go somewhere else to try and get food for free. You might say that that is a sign of the times. Quite often it is used in a negative way. So when we talk about the sign of the times, quite often we are talking about things that are happening in this particular period, right now, in the present, and they are not very good things. They are a sign of the times. It is possible to use it in a positive way as well. It is possible to use it positively, definitely. But most of the time we use it negatively. What? What's going on here? What's happening to you? Why? Where have your legs gone? You haven't got a leg to stand on. This is another expression that we often use in English. A person who cannot win an argument, or maybe a person who has no recourse in a dispute. There is nothing they can do. You have no leg to stand on. You haven't got a leg to stand on. So this is a very interesting idiom. To be in a situation where you cannot win or put forward an argument. You don't have a leg to stand on. All this violence. Oh, that's interesting. Isn't that the last one? I don't know why. That is the last one, isn't it? That one there. That's the one I just showed you. So I don't actually have an example for that. If I did, of course, I would say something like, he wants to take the local authority to court, but he won't win the case because he hasn't got a leg to stand on. He has no argument that he can make. There is nothing he can say to win the argument. He hasn't got a leg to stand on. So maybe in legal situations, maybe you have no chance of winning that particular argument. Sorry about that mistake as well. Sorry about it. I'm ever so sorry. Here's another one. Carry the can. A person who will carry the can is a person who will stand up and they will take responsibility for something. I will take responsibility. I am willing to carry the can. I will carry the can. I will accept responsibility. To take responsibility for something on behalf of others. I am willing to carry the can for this mistake. So maybe the mistake was other people's fault, or maybe there were other people involved, but you are willing to stand up and say, no, I am responsible for that particular thing. I will carry the can. I will take the burden of that particular thing. Good one. I like that one. We have some more to come. I will have a quick break because I want to actually drink some water. I hope you don't mind. So this is for everyone who is missing Mr. Steve at the moment. Two very different types of weather there. We had wind and rain with Mr. Steve and snow with me. It is a lovely day for those wondering. The weather outside is rather nice at the moment. We have sunshine. It's not warm. I would say today, in fact, I'm wrong. No, I'm just looking now at the temperature outside. It is now 14 Celsius, which, to be honest with you, is rather mild for the beginning or the middle of February. So I have to say, it is a nice day, but I'm not outside. I am in the studio. And unfortunately, I am also on my own because there is no Mr. Steve today. I'm ever so sorry about that. We are looking at some idioms. We have a few more before we go. I will try to find the next one. There it is. Here is the next idiom. To be given the boot. To be given the boot. If someone gives you the boot, it means they kick you out. Maybe they remove you from a certain position at work. Maybe they say, we don't want you to work for us anymore. We are going to give you the boot. We give that person the boot. To be dismissed from your job, to be fired or sacked from employment. Have you ever been sacked from your job? Has anyone ever dismissed you from your job? It happened to me. In my life, I have been sacked from jobs. One in particular that I was very bad at. And I will admit, I was terrible at the particular job that I was sacked from. So I can't really argue about that particular situation because, to be honest with you, I was terrible at that particular job. So they sacked me. They gave me the boot. To give someone the boot is to be fired or sacked from your job. They gave me the boot for being late for work every day. Yes, that will get you the boot. So to be given the boot means to be sacked from your job. You are told you have to go. You are not required anymore. Here's another one. English idioms. To put the cart before the horse. So as you can see, the two things are the wrong way round. So the horse should be in front of the cart, pulling it. It normally pulls the cart. But the horse is facing the wrong way. And you are putting everything in the wrong order. And guess what? That is what that phrase means. To get one's priorities in the wrong order, or to have a plan or idea back to front. So maybe everything is in the wrong place. It should be in a different position. This plan will not work because we are putting the cart before the horse. We have everything the wrong way round. So in this particular situation, I think this picture is very descriptive. It shows quite clearly what that expression actually means. You are putting everything in the wrong place. It is all in the wrong order. You are putting the cart before the horse. Here's another one. You may have noticed this on my thumbnail. Something that is as easy as pie. Do you think English is an easy language to learn? Is it as easy as pie? When we say that something is as easy as pie, well, can you guess what we are saying? A thing that is easy or simple to do without much effort needed. Something that is easy to do. It is as easy as pie. It's very, very easy. Remembering this speech will be as easy as pie because I have a good memory. So maybe you have a particular skill that will help you to do something well. We can say, it's not a problem. I can do this. It's as easy as pie. It is very easy to do. We have one more. Just one more idiom. The gloves have come off. The gloves have come off. When we talk about an argument or a fight, or maybe two people who are disagreeing with each other, and maybe one person starts to become quite aggressive, or maybe they cheat, or maybe they become quite violent, you might have to retaliate. You might have to do the same thing in return. So we can say that the gloves have come off. They have come off. The exact meaning is to not hold back with one's actions or retaliation. So you are not holding back. The gloves are now off. You will fight whatever it takes, and however you have to win, you will do it. They will not stop bullying me, so now the gloves are coming off. And this, I think this actually refers to boxing. So when you are hitting someone or punching someone with gloves, then it is not so bad. You won't cause so much damage. But of course, if you take the gloves off, then you will cause much more damage. The gloves have come off. And there it is, today's final idiom on today's English Addict live stream. I hope you've enjoyed those. I hope they have given you food for thought. You see? So there is another one. Food for thought means that you are thinking about something that a person has said. Maybe they've said something that has inspired you to try something new. Perhaps earlier on, when I was talking about electric blankets, perhaps talking about those or that particular thing has given you an idea. It has given you food for thought. Perhaps tomorrow you will go out and you will buy an electric blanket for you to keep you warm in bed. Thank you very much. It's been nice to see you today, and I know that Mr. Steve wasn't here. You may have noticed. He definitely wasn't here today, unfortunately. And next week we are going to, I'm going to see Mr. Steve with his little concert. And then next Sunday we are back together. So hopefully, I think Steve is with me next Sunday. I don't remember him saying otherwise, but we will have to wait and see. And of course, I will be back with you on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm with you from 2 p.m. UK time, and we will learn some more things about English. Because, of course, the world of English is a fun and exciting place to be. I'm so glad you could join me for another live stream. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you, Marcia. That's very kind of you to say. Some wonderful English idioms. There are many. Many, many, many. In fact, there are too many to count. So there are, yes, you are right, there are many English idioms. So the ones I showed you today are common English idioms. But to be honest with you, there are many more as well. And we do like to use them in our everyday life. We really do. Thank you very much for your birthday greetings. Thank you, Rosa, for saying happy birthday to Mr. Steve. He did have a lovely day. We enjoyed ourselves. It was ever so nice. And as I mentioned earlier, last night we went out for a meal with our friends and it didn't go very well. We had some problems. If you want to find out more about that, you can watch the live stream again when it becomes available on YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Palmyra, for being here today. Thank you also to Luis Mendez for joining me in bed. I will do it one day. Trust me, I am going to do it one day. I am going to do my live stream from in bed. Never done it before. But I always say there is a first time for everything. Whatever happens in the world, most things have happened again and again. But sometimes something new comes along that you were not expecting. Like this. So maybe today you didn't expect to see this crazy man on your computer device. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. I am going now. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Can I ask that you send my happy birthday hug to Mr. Steve? I will. I will send all of your lovely messages to Steve personally when he gets back later tonight. Thank you very much. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English. This is where I am at the moment, by the way, which is England, of course. And I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I will see you on Wednesday from 2 p.m. UK time. Lots of idioms for you to watch. If you want to watch this again, you can. YouTube will take a long time to process this, so it normally takes a few hours. And that is the reason why there is often a delay between the live stream and the completed video. So please bear with me. Bear with me. There is another great idiom. If you bear with me, it means you have to be patient. You have to wait until something happens. Please bear with me. Be patient. All good things will come to those who wait. Hopefully. Thanks a lot. See you on Wednesday. Take care, everyone. Have a super duper Sunday and enjoy your Monday and Tuesday. And I will be back with you on Wednesday. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Have a good day. Keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. Give me a lovely like as well, and I will be ever so happy. And until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. As Shakespeare said, parting is such sweet sorrow that I bid you goodbye till it be morrow. Or as I like to say, ta-ta for now.